Okay, how you doing this evening? By the looks of this, you already know who it is. Once again, we did it. We're out here in Connecticut chilling with Bubba Love, my man Gene, and my consigliere Ray Rock. Well, everybody always goes crazy for like graph stories, so I figured today I got a good one for you. Back in the day, it was probably 1973. I was about 11 years old. I was up in Yonkers in the White Plains area, racking up from like about 8 o'clock in the morning till about maybe 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon. Got a little grub, had some cheeseburger deluxes, cream and turkey soup, Boston cream pie, and a Coke. Took the 20 to White Plains bus back down the Mashilla Parkway, and I chilled out and went across the street from the rail where some of the better part of the Bronx used to hang out. So I'm up there on the benches and shit, chilling with my shopping bags of paint and all that. And you never really know how the day is going to turn out. So as I'm out there chilling, I light up a cigarette. I'm thinking about, some master plans. I got jit foams in my pocket, Red Devil, Krylon, Rust-Oleum, Wet Look, Hue Paint, Martin's Paint, Rust-Oleums, some Varathanes. I'm all loaded up. I got MOV markers, pilots, Flowmaster ink, Buffaloes, Pentels, the whole shit, and a black book to boot. I look up the block and I see this cat from the neighborhood, like a skell and shit that I always try to get away from. His MO, he was like a pocketbook snatcher and shit, robbing old men, knocking them over the head. One of those real dudes you love to hate. So he comes up to me, he's like, yo, Fuzz, what's going on, dog? The whole routine. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this cat again? Now, it could be a sunny day, you could be macking, bro, getting a suntan at the beach. Once this guy fucking comes along, dude is like a dark cloud, yo, it just starts raining. It'd probably be a fucking hurricane when you see this dude. So he's like, yo, what's in the bag, B, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I got a couple of cans. He's like, yo, let's get some weed, let's get some beers. So the dude was always broke, on the humbum, give me some. I saw him. I'm like, all right, dog, here's a 20 spot. I sent him to the store. He went to Pee Wee's, bought 2 6-packs of Miller beer. No, he got the 8-packs, the Miller Nip joints. And I sent him to the tree spot. He went and got me like 2 tray bags, a thing of bamboo, a couple of cigars. So we're hanging out. And, this guy used to write Skell. That, I prefer to call him like Scum One, but we don't want to get too far and shit, so we just call him the Skell. We're hanging out. The dude's been banishing my name for 30 years, maybe 40 years. So anyway, another one of my buddies rolls on the scene, and his name was Be Out in 2 Minutes. That's what they used to call him in the area. Like, if somebody fucked with that dude, he'd be like, yo, what's up, cat? He just put his boots on and shit, army jacket, mustachio and shit. Dude looked like a cop when he was 13 years old. He just run down the block, yo, I'll be out in 2 minutes, crash niggas up, boom, boom, boom. They'd be knocked out. So he saw me, he's like, Papa, he used to call me PV, yo, what's going on? He's sitting over here, I got my man Be Out in 2 minutes, and I got my man Skell over here. So we're like the 3 blind mice at the time, hanging out, trains are going by, whole cars, Turk 62, Priest 167, my man Peso 131, Kiss 17, my main man, partners in crime. So they're like, yo, I see you got some paint and everything, right? And I'm like, yeah, I got some cans, whatever, you dudes want to do something. So I don't know exactly who it was, but, I bombed the 4-yard with an iron can. I figured, yeah, the 4-yard is right down the block. I was tired. I only walked like 100 miles and shit, robbing every fucking store in the whole neighborhood. I had like about 60, 70 cans. Had a lot of jit foams on me, some Niagaras, Scotch Guards, Panel Magics, the whole shit. I'm talking old school, not new school. So I got all my supplies. We got a little grub at the spot. We got a couple of burgers and shit at Burger King. And we tripped off down the road in the back way, down the stairs, going towards the back of Mashilla Parkway. We walked underneath the tunnel, and we came across DeWitt Clinton. Now we're hanging out at DeWitt Clinton in the bushes, And as God is my witness, I had no idea the way the night was going to turn out. So my man be out in 2 minutes. Yo, he had balls of steel. He's the baddest writer, like a white god. The dude would just go in, stomp cops out, all kind of shit, put writers off the count, throw them off the shit pipes, all that. So I always felt secure chilling with him. But my other man was like a bad seed. He had like a bad aura, you know, he had a bad jacket. Everything with him was bad. The dude never did a good deed in his life. Never saved a cat out of a tree, never saved like a drowning child in a lake, or a rabid dog, or some old lady carrying her groceries across the street. Every time this dude came on the circuit, it would be like pouring rain. So I figured, okay, I got my man Skell with me, and I got my man Be Out in 2 minutes. We stayed in the bushes, drinking beer, smoking weed for like about, I don't know, 2 hours. It came up to like 8, 9 at night. That was usually like a good time, you know, to go to the 4-yard. But at that time in 1973, the 4-yard wasn't really secure. They had, you know, security that used to come up on the spot. They had the old white and black, you know, transit cop cars. They had DTs all over the spot. The 4-yard was actually hot. People were bombing that joint in the hands of time, even before like Tracy Towers was built. And they started building it actually in like 1968. Dudes don't know the deal. And they had the plywood around the whole spot. And I think it was probably still underway for like 72, 73, whatever. So we pop in, you know, we walk across the street, and in those days they had like 2 gates, like one here, one here. They had like a little wraparound chain around the fence, so if you pulled the fence out, you could slip your body through and then sneak right in, and the trains were all lined up like 10 soldiers, you know, like about 10 of them. So me and Be Out in 2 minutes and my boy Skell, we go in there, you know, we start piecing, whatever, you know, we're doing whole cars and shit. I'm doing like a fuzz jump off. My man Be Out in 2 minutes is doing his thing. And our boy Skell is just running around the yards, tagging up like a derelict, busting windows. He took a shit in the conductor booth. He was pissing all over the place, drunk, screaming and yelling. I'm yo, dog, chill, B, you know. And I didn't even really pay too much mind to it or nothing. But halfway into our pieces, a train came into the yards in between the train that we were piecing on, another train on the side of us, and then just like one more train. So there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes empty. So when the train was actually coming in from the back of Tracy Towers by Scott Towers from like Bedford Park, the lights were on, they're beeping the horn, you know, the whole MO. You could hear the clicking of the tracks. So we had to like, you know, stash our paint back in the bags, crawl underneath the train, and then run across the tracks and go into this train that all the famous writers used to know was like, it was called the work bum train. You know, it was just a train that was like left there for years. It was probably there from like the 60s. And I used to call it like the ghost train. It had so many names. But, you know, pretty much it was like the work bump train. The train wasn't going nowhere. It was there at least for like 4 years. So we went in between cars and climbed up in the train with our paint and went into like the 5th or the 6th car before you get all the way to the end of the yard. Now there's only 4 cars on this side, 6 cars on this side. It's a 10-car joint. So we get into the train. My man Skell's rolling up a couple of spliffies. We're hitting doobies. We're drinking beers. And you know, I had a little trickly feeling, you know, that something was going on and everything. But as we looked outside the window, I saw the conductor inside the train walking down train car after train car after train car after train car all the way to the end of the yard and then go out. So the funniest thing about it, the whole train is filled up with trees. We're bombing the insides. I'm doing carpet tags, fuzz one, 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 fuzz one. I'm bombing the floor, the other side, fuzz one, fuzz one. I'm doing the ceilings, fuzz one. Nothing but like fuzz one. I did like 2 chestnut brown, tags with both hands, Cascade green, burnt orange, federal safety green. The train was a mist of smoke. But then, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later, I looked down to the back of the train, and bang, the conductor booth opens. There was like the biggest decoy salt and pepper team cop just standing there with the lumberjack red and black checkered jacket. He had like the chavita with the little mustache, black DA and shit. Dude was like fucking 9 feet tall. I'm like, wow, Maron, this guy's gonna fucking hit us in that with a hammer. All of a sudden, my man be out in 2 minutes, just did like a 100-yard dash like this, ran towards the dude and just catapulted him. Show, boom, knocked him down. The guy was all fucked up. He banged his head against the train. He fell into the seat. And my man, be out in 2 minutes, just opened the door, took off, and just catapulted in between cars. He was gone. Now you figure back in the days, hey, it's a raid. Another dude was behind this Italian cat. His name is Farino. He was the baddest transit cop that ever lived. He was actually one of the first transit police that ever arrested graffiti writers besides Artie Schwartz. That's people that know their knowledge, you know, about the graph game. You know, a lot of other cats, Roten, Wasserman, Hickey and Ski came much later on. Let me see, who was, Jack and O'Leary, those dudes were dangerous. There was this Cocolo dude, his name was Rhoda, but he did a lot of BMT, IND lines. But Lumberjack and Farino had worldwide jurisdiction. They did BMTs, IRTs, INDs. So now my man Skell just like freezes up and sees Farino coming this way. Lumberjack was dizzy, and for some reason, I guess they just wanted Fuzz One. They just grabbed me like by the throat. They were like, "You little bastard, Pop." I was like, "Ugh." They were trying to kill me. I was like, "Yo, chill." They were like punching me in the head, boom, boom, like kicking me. I was like, "These fucking cops are crazy, yo. This is fucking graffiti." Act like I shot the president. So they had me like in a dope fiend. They saw my man. They was like, "Yo, please leave Popeye alone. Don't hit him." And they just took him, shot out, "You weasel." They grabbed his arm and just put him up to the strap hanger and cuffed him and like hung him around the strap hanger and handcuffed his other hand. So now he's dangling there and shit like that. "Leave Popeye alone. Be like Popeye alone." And they just catapult me in the head. Boom, boom. I'm like 11 years old. These dudes are like grown men. They're giving me like shots in the head. It felt like they were hitting me in the head with a fucking hammer. So now I'm chilling there, all stomped out and everything. I figured, well, you know, they'll beat the shit out of me. Maybe they'll let me go. That wasn't the case. So now they're talking to me. I'm not like handcuffed or nothing, but I'm dazed, you know. They took a can out of my bag, like a Cascade green with a jif on, and they went, and they shot me in the eye. My whole side of my face was like fogged up. I couldn't see. I was like, "Yo, what are you doing to me?" They were like, "Shut up." Kicked me in the balls. I was holding my pipe, holding my eye. At the same time, I was demoed. And a lot of writers talk a lot of shit. I've been bombing for 50 years. They never got arrested. The reason why they never got fucking arrested, because they never went to a yard in their life. And then, you know, I did this, I did that. I got away from here, I got away from there. And in the 42 years that I've been bombing and graffiti since 1970, I never really met a writer that ever came for the truth. But, you know, we'll get past that. So anyway, now the cops are telling me, "We finally got you, you little bastard. You got away from us over here. You got away from us over here. You know, you did this, you did that. We chased you at the layup. We saw you over here." I was like, "Look, dude, I just came here to take a leak. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I didn't do nothing." They were like, "This is all your shit." They took my cans, you know, they spilled them out all over the floor. So now I was like physically fucked up, man. I was injured. Like they busted my head open. I had a speed knot like this. My lip was busted. I couldn't see out of my eye. I had like a Cascade green eye. And they took like Federal Hydrant red. They sprayed me. My DA had like a red streak in it. I was twisted. My balls were hurting. So they told me, "What hand do you write with?" So I figured to myself, Jesus Christ, what are they going to do, you know? So I was right-handed. And they told me, "Just tell us what hand you write with." So I said, "Yeah, I'm lefty." So they took my hand, my right hand, and they handcuffed my hand to the pole that's in the middle of the train. Now, back in the days, those old, porthole window, like IRT trains, they had the real fat pole, like in the middle where old people used to hang on, and they had like a basin, around it. That's for real riders. Well, we won't get that, technical.